Hello everyone, welcome to a episode of Weekly Wear here on my channel that I think is pretty funny because I don't know what happened, but somehow I mean listen, I'm grateful that Too Faced sent this to me as PR. I am very grateful to be on their sometimes PR list. Sometimes they have sent me stuff, a lot of times they do not when it comes to their new releases, but they had apparently said this to me, but I don't know if they just, well, clearly they sent it very late because, I mean, well, okay, so I was excited in the mail because I hadn't seen this. I didn't know that they had made a Born This Way powder foundation. So I was like, oh cool, a new thing that I can show to my viewers. And then I like typed it in online. It's not new, like, at all. This is like at least a half a year old. At least there are definitely quite a few YouTube reviews that pop up that are from like I think July of 2019. I mean, it doesn't have the like new stamp on Sephora's website, like not like this is not new, but like it now comes. So like what, I don't know what happened, okay? It doesn't matter. In any case, I'm still gonna test this out and I'm excited. You know, something different. It sounds like it might do well on my skin. They sent me a brush, which is exciting. And they sent 3 different shades. I'm not sure. They used the tackiest glue in there, which I guess, you know, is good and fine. I'd rather that than have it bounce all over the place in here upon transport and then get to me broken. But so we have this shade. This is Cream Puff. We also have Seashell, which I feel like Seashell is usually a lot heavier of a pink undertone, but this one doesn't seem to have too heavy of one. And then we also have Almond, which actually I think might be good for me. I guess here, let's hop on into it. So this is the Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Powder Foundation. It is $37. Comes in 25 different shades, which certainly look to be focused in the light to light medium range. Anywhere medium and even slightly deep is really lacking. Like, this is a really, it's not the most upsetting shade range I've ever seen in my life, but it's not good. It's not a good one. That could definitely be improved. The before and after pictures they show, I mean, it looks incredible, especially for a powder foundation. It's kind of unbelievable if you ask me, but I guess we shall see. But they say this is a 3-in-1 long-wearing powder foundation that sets makeup, hides shine, and can touch up on the go. It's got medium coverage and is supposed to be natural, good for normal, dry, combo, oily skin, so everybody. It's got coconut water in it along with some other things. I just wanted to especially highlight the coconut because a lot of people break out from coconut. It's also vegan, cruelty-free, and gluten-free, free of parabens, and to use. It says you can apply this with your fingertips, which is strange to me. About as strange as the fact that it's snowing and we had a blizzard yesterday here in April, middle of April, but you can also use a sponge or a brush. You just start at the center of the face, work outwards, and then you can apply more to achieve desired coverage. So a little confusing to me just in the way that they described it on Sephora's website. They made it sound like it's not a foundation, that it's more for using to set liquid foundations, but Too Faced seems to say that this is a foundation on its own. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try it like that. I can also try it as, you know, a setting powder, but I am going to go in with Almond just because I think this is gonna be my shade. You know, the compact has a mirror in it, and then, yes, it felt wiggly. It's got a sponge in here as well. One of the sides is actually a spongy material, and then the other side is more of a very soft felt, so touch-ups on the go. My skin is doing okay right now. Not the best, not the worst, but we've got some stuff to test this foundation out on. So, you know, blemishes, pimples, dark spots, all that good stuff. So today I am going to be testing out the sponge that they included. We'll see how this applies with the sponge on half the face. We will try out this Mr. Perfect foundation brush as well, and I'm excited to see how this does. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna touch it. Okay, it feels nice and soft and silky. I am also curious with your finger, huh? I mean, yeah, you can apply it with your finger, it looks like. I don't know, it just doesn't seem quite right to apply complete powder foundation, your whole face with your fingers. That just seems like it would take a very, very long time. I am also testing today without primer, so we can see how this does without a primer. This might be a little bit yellow on my skin, but when I only have choices of either yellow undertone or pink undertone, I'm gonna go yellow because my skin is neutral, but I guess it leans more on the yellowy side, maybe? Well, that's just what I tend to prefer. This does seem to be giving pretty dang good coverage so far though. Considering this is just a powder, it also looks like it might be clinging to dry spots a bit, so I don't know. They said this would be good for dry skin too, but I don't know that I would necessarily agree with that, at least not upon initial application here. But dang dude, not too shabby. Now we will go ahead and test out this foundation brush. It is nice and soft. I don't know that I've ever used a Too Faced brush before, have I? I think maybe, yeah, like smaller, like a highlighting brush, but anyways, here we go. I guess it makes sense. The brush looks like it's giving less coverage than a sponge. It's probably because with a sponge, you know, you're like patting it into your skin. And you can see with the, or maybe you can't see, but I can see when I go to use the brush. There's kind of powder flying everywhere. But overall, I mean, it looks like this is applying nice and smooth, fairly buildable coverage. I can't see this ever being full coverage, no matter how much you packed it on. I mean, maybe, but that would seem a bit ridiculous. That being said, this did give pretty good medium coverage for sure. Buildable, skin looks soft and smooth, slightly airbrushed, dare I say. So I am super curious to see how this continues to do, you know, how it wears throughout the day on my oily skin, if my oils come out and just completely break it down, or maybe it'll make it look dewy and natural throughout the day. You know, we won't know until we try. Or I won't know, because like I said, I hadn't seen any reviews on this before, but try we shall together. So I will just be seeing you all soon. The time it takes to do a snap transition here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. End of the night here. So I just got home from doing some errands. I went to Target for some essential things. Paper towel, some groceries, that sort of thing. And now that I'm home and have carried things up here to my apartment, I'm looking hecka oily, hecka greasy. But you know, I have had this on for about 9 hours now. My cats are having a little tussle in the background. Excuse them, you know, gotta fight out those brotherly angsts against each other. But yeah, I'm gonna go take off my makeup off. Yes, it is that time of the night. So I'm gonna go do that. Before that, you know, wanted to show you guys, since I am filming a test here with y'all. Like I said, I am looking super oily. But that being said, I don't think it'll look awful. I mean, I look really oily, like really, really shiny, and I feel like it kind of looks like it's sitting on top of my skin, like on my nose. It has felt comfy all day, like it's felt really lightweight all day. I just feel like I'm greasy, and I feel like if I were to wipe it, it would wipe right off. I haven't done that shot yet here in real life, but hey, you may have just seen it wipe right off. Maybe it didn't, you know? This Cassie that is filming this version of herself has no idea yet. So there are the results. I am certainly curious to try this with a primer, also to try it with some concealers, and also try using it as a setting powder. So we shall see. We're going to test it out on the upcoming days, and I'm excited to do so with you all. So I will be back in just a second with those results. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. You guessed it. It's the end of the night here. Third day of testing for this week's weekly wear. What do you guys think? What's the outcome gonna be? Guesses? Okay, either way. Let me tell ya! Day 2, this was primer day for me. I wanted to test out my Holy Grail Guerlain primer as well as a hydrating primer that I've been enjoying using lately from Ciate. So I went ahead and used the Guerlain primer on my left side of my face and then the Ciate primer on the right side of my face. I also, you know, waited for those to dry down and then put on my Too Faced concealer that I love, the Born This, isn't this, yeah, the Born This Way concealer? The sculpting one. Beautiful. Figured, you know, then maybe I could use less powder. I don't know, maybe it would make it look better with less. Who knows? Figured I would give it a shot either way. Then I went ahead and used the brush they gave me along with the powder to apply it, but I finished up application with the compact sponge for more coverage, you know, pushing that foundation into my skin. However, even though I let the products dry beforehand, it looked really splotchy on my forehead, the foundation, and I think it was because of the concealer. It just felt like it didn't look so great. That being said, it did feel good throughout the day, you know, just like it had on day one. It was very lightweight and comfortable. However, at the end of the day, at only about 7.5 hours of wearing, oh my goodness, I could tell I felt so oily, and oh my Lanta, did I look oily. I don't think I've ever said oh my Lanta before. That's how oily this was. Just shock and awe at every turn. To mention, the foundation I had noticed throughout the day was definitely transferring off onto my fingers. Even if I just touched my face the tiniest bit, it was transferring off and wiping off more on the Ciate side, although I did think both sides looked fairly comparable, both sides of my face. It just, you know, was quite faded around my nose and my mouth, where I'm very oily and where I tend to end up touching my face randomly throughout the day if I've got a little itch or something. So, bummer. However, I was still gonna persevere. I thought, okay, so maybe this isn't working so great as a foundation for me and my oily skin. So today I went ahead and tested it as a powder, a finishing powder type of a thing, a setting powder. I think there's a difference. Either way, I used it as a powder on top of foundation. So I went ahead and used my faves of other things, at least faves at the moment. You know, I got my Guerlain, I got my Too Faced concealer, I got my CoverGirl foundation. We're not sure whether or not this powder deserves kisses yet, but these are the things that I used on my face to try things out. You know, I just wanted to see how it did as a powder. I did think it looked good overall as a powder. It really hyper mattified things on my face, almost to a point of making it look cakey and a little too dry, but I figured since this got so oily throughout the day that maybe it would do well with wear. I do feel like it did okay in terms of wear. You know, I mean, I'm using pretty holy grail / favorite products here today. You know, the Guerlain primer, the concealer, and I wouldn't say that the foundation is holy grail, but it certainly does work quite well on my skin. I do think the powder might have made the foundation feel a little bit heavier than normal, a little bit more greasy and oily, but I don't think I look overtly oily here at the end of the night. And I did a ton of cooking tonight, like over a hot stove. It just, whew, I'm feeling warm even just standing here in front of this ring light. My goodness, it's snowing outside. But you know, I've got the typical signs of wear on my face. My dad told me I had to watch a Lynyrd Skynyrd documentary, and oh my gosh, I wasn't weeping, but I did cry at the end. I grew up listening to Lynyrd Skynyrd with my dad, and this documentary was just wonderful. Wasn't it called If I Leave Here Tomorrow from the Freebird lyrics? Just, oh my gosh, it was very good. But yeah, so here I am, you know, I think withstanding sweat, oil, tears, I think it did pretty good as a powder, but as a foundation, I'm gonna have to give this a big wonk if you have oily skin. Like, why do bad products make me lose the ability to speak? I don't know. I don't appreciate it. But either way, pros and cons, let's go over them, shall we? Just as an overall. First off, for a pro, certainly, this stuff blurs pores and makes your skin look airbrushed like nobody's business if you're using this as a foundation. Upon initial application, oh my gosh, it just smooths, blurs, perfects, delightful. I think it looks really gorgeous on the skin at first. I also do appreciate that it has buildable coverage as a powder foundation. You know, you could certainly wear this as a light coverage foundation, medium. As I said in the beginning, you know, I don't think that this could ever really be a full coverage foundation, but in any case, you know, you get a nice natural light to medium type of a look. It's buildable. I appreciate that. Also, the fact that it is multi-use depending on your skin type, you know, that this can be used as a foundation. I would say if you have oily skin, don't do that. But if you have like normal to combo, I would say this would certainly fare well for you as a foundation. Dry skin, I don't know, I think it might cling to dry patches a little too much for that, but I could be wrong. I don't have dry skin, so I don't know. And my last pro here is just that it initially does take away shine. It is hyper mattifying for sure. So I write things down in my little notebook here. I put in my cons list, I put very first, lightweight as a con. False. That should have been with the pros. It's lightweight as well. So that's good. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have oily skin, like I said multiple times, I do think it feels quite heavy and oily, but overall initially and before then, it feels very lightweight and comfy. Now for the cons. First off is just that if you do have oily skin, it does transfer and wipe right off with oils. So that's just a no-go. For sure, for me anyways. And then also huge con. As a foundation, it just looks so hyper oily greasy. I don't remember the last time I have worn a foundation and that made me look so wet at the end of the day, and even not after like a long day, you know? It's not like I'm doing these grueling days here while quarantined. Like, these are pretty normal days, short days, and looking that shiny, yikes. No thanks. So overall, I'm kind of iffy on this one. I do think I'm gonna continue trying it out as a powder, mainly just for touch-ups throughout the day if I need to mattify. Okay, I just went ahead and did my close-ups because I did want to test and see, just real quick, you know, what this would look like if I do touch up over oiliness. I mean, I certainly think it's gonna take the shine away, but sometimes when you put powder on top of oils, very heavy oils, it can clump up. You know, that ain't bad. Let's try it with the fuzzy side. Got my forehead. I mean, it's rough because I think this is too yellow of a shade for me. Okay, maybe it clumped a little around my moustache, but overall, I mean, took away the oils there. I wouldn't mind carrying this around in my purse for touch-ups. That being said, I don't think this would be worth buying if you're gonna buy it only for touch-ups, but I have it, so I'm gonna try and use it anyways. But yeah, there you go, you guys. That's my review on this new foundation. Oh boy. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry this isn't actually a new foundation release or anything, but hopefully it was still helpful for you, and hopefully I wasn't the only person in the dark about this product. Certainly let me know in the comments down below if you have tried out this powder foundation from Too Faced. What kind of skin do you have? Did you like it? Did it work for you? All that kind of stuff. I love cooking up a nice casserole of comments in those comments down below. You can also let me know if you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, whatever the case may be, by giving it a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you are new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below. Become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I would love to have you here. I don't know why I'm all sorts of handsy tonight. But anyways, yes, I love you guys. I hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, stay well until then. Bye.